Success isn't random. It follows a code. Welcome to the Conant Code, where we break down the strategies, challenge the myths, and uncover the truth in 5 minutes or less. Now, let's crack the code.
He wasn't a tech prodigy, not at first. In fact, in the mid-1990s, the world of computers was still a foreign land to him. He wasn't coding in his basement or building PCs from spare parts. He wasn't dreaming about rockets or electric cars. He was just a young man with an idea, and no idea how far that idea would take him. But here's the strange thing about success. It doesn't always come from genius or perfect timing. Sometimes it starts with something much simpler. Sometimes it starts with a bet. This young man wasn't from Silicon Valley. He wasn't born into a family of tech titans. His childhood had been complicated, bouncing from place to place and filled with upheaval. But what he did have was a relentless curiosity. He was drawn to big ideas, huge ideas, and the kind of work that most people thought was impossible. And in the early 1990s, that curiosity led him to an industry just beginning to crack open: the internet. At the time, few people understood how powerful the internet would become. It was a chaotic, digital Wild West, a strange, untapped world where opportunity seemed to hover just out of reach. This young man saw it and knew it was his chance to build something. But what? He started thinking. What was missing from this growing digital universe? What could he create that the world actually needed? And then it hit him. An online directory for businesses, a kind of digital phone book that could help people find local companies. It wasn't flashy. It wasn't glamorous. It was just a practical idea with the potential to change how people interacted with their local communities. There was only one problem. He had no money to get started. His father agreed to lend him $28,000, a big gamble for a small idea. With that loan, he co-founded a company called Zip2. It was far from perfect at first, just a clunky service that helped newspapers offer business listings online. But he poured himself into it, learning the tech world on the fly, hustling for every deal. The bet started to pay off. Zip2 slowly gained traction, signing contracts with newspapers across the country. And in 1999, the gamble paid off in the biggest way possible. Compaq bought Zip2 for $307 million. The young man walked away with $22 million, more money than he'd ever imagined. But this wasn't his victory lap. It was his launch pad. With that capital, he didn't just reinvest in the tech world, he helped redefine it. He took part of his Zip2 fortune and co-founded X.com, an online payments company. A year later, that company became PayPal, which revolutionized online commerce and sold to eBay for $1.5 billion. And still, he wasn't finished. He funneled his earnings into 3 of the most audacious ventures ever conceived: Tesla, to create electric cars and revolutionize the automotive industry; SpaceX, to privatize space travel and aim for Mars; SolarCity, to change how the world generates energy. Today, he's one of the most influential people on the planet, a man whose ideas continue to shape the future of transportation, space exploration, and energy. His name? Elon Musk. But here's the thing. None of it, the electric cars, the reusable rockets, the Mars ambitions, would have been possible without that first step, without that small, unglamorous idea called Zip2. The lesson? The first step is rarely glamorous, but it's always the most important. Too often, we imagine success as some brilliant, world-changing moment. We forget that most legacies begin with something small: a problem, a bet, a gamble on a practical idea. The key is to start, because success rarely happens all at once. It unfolds, one bet at a time. And that, my friends, is the Conant Code.
That's it for this episode of the Conant Code. If you got something out of it, share it with a friend, follow the show, and leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. More insights, more strategies, and more code breaking coming soon. Until next time, keep thinking, keep building, and keep pushing forward.